Welcome to the Naperville Moms Network, a mom-focused talk show to help navigate life's ups and downs as a mother and woman. My name is Dr. Kathy Suber, and I will serve as your show's host. I have 2 teenage boys, own a chiropractic practice in town, and have the honor of running Naperville Moms Network. Our community of local moms has grown to over 15,000 members in the past 8 years, and we are excited to bring our online conversations to life on TV. I am joined by 3 local moms, Erica, Sarita, and Patty, and would like to give each of them the opportunity to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Erica Lopez. I've lived in Naperville about 5 years. My background is in education. I taught high school English before making the decision to be at home full-time. I have 2 little ones, a daughter in kindergarten and a 3-year-old son. And I also am an independent consultant for a premium skincare company.
Great.
I'm Sarita Arellano. I'm a mom to a son in middle school and a daughter in high school. Previously, I worked as a CFO and currently I manage my own businesses, offering consulting to startup companies and STEM enrichment programs. And my husband and I have lived in Naperville for over 25 years.
Wow, that's great.
I'm Patty Minglin. I have 3 children. 2 of them are in college. My daughter will be graduating in May. Wow. Yay! And I also have a son who's a high school freshman. And I am the owner of a content marketing company located right here in downtown Naperville.
Great. I am lucky to call all of you friends, and I appreciate you being here with me today. To kick us off, we are going to talk about the 47,000 roles that a mom has to play. 1 second, you are thinking you could not be more blessed. The next, you are thinking, what on earth have I gotten myself into? What do you think, guys? Do you have this whole mom thing figured out?
Being a mom has been one of the most important and impactful role I've had, but at the same time, one that I've been least prepared or trained for.
Right.
You know, you go through most of your life through school, college, learning all the essential skills you're going to need to succeed in a professional career, but you really don't get any formal training on being a mom or parenting. So when you have your first child, you're looking for, does this come with a manual? And like many of you, I worked in a professional career for years, so it's so finite and defined, and when you get to motherhood, you realize it's really learn as you go.
Yeah, that's so true.
It is so learn as you go. And not only do you not get a manual when they're born, you don't get a manual at any point in time. And using your career analogy, I've been doing motherhood for 22 years. So at a company, I would be pretty, I'd be pretty well established. You know, have a gold watch at my 20th. And I would know a whole lot. And I know nothing at 22 years of parenthood. I'm still learning, because every time you master that stage that they are in, whether it's being a toddler or they're into sports, so suddenly you become this really great sports mom. Whatever stage they're in, you master it and you feel really good about yourself, and then they get older, or they change their interest, or the world around you changes, and you're back at square one trying to figure out, what am I supposed to do here? And we're all that way. Like, I don't think we ever get to a point where we're like, I got it. I know motherhood.
True.
No. And if you are earning the gold watch, I am the intern in the cubicle in the corner, because I feel like I'm just starting this journey. Not just starting. My youngest is 3, so we are past the infant stage and mostly sleepless nights. But it's tough, and you know, you learn from each child as well. You know, I look back at old videos with my daughter, and now it's so easy with the phone, right? We can take those quick little snippets of life, which I appreciate. And when I look back at some of the things I said or did with my first child, it's ridiculous. We were just, we celebrated Christmas just a few months ago, and we're watching, and my daughter was not even 2, and I must have asked her 12 times if she needed milk. And my 6-year-old turns and she says, Ma, why do you keep asking me if I want milk? And I said, I don't know, because apparently at the time I thought milk was just the most important thing, and we don't even really drink milk now. You know, I don't remember the last time I gave my son milk. So it's just doing what you think you are supposed to be doing at the time, and then learning and growing, and ultimately going with your gut and trying to drown out the 47,000 to use your number, voices in our own heads, from friends, from social media, from whatever it is, just taking a deep breath and going for what's best for you and your family.
Yeah, I think that's so true, Erica. I know when I was pregnant, right? You're pregnant for 9 or 10 months, and you're expecting a baby. You have a room. You're all planned. You know a baby is coming home. And we went to the hospital, and I gave birth to my first son, and they put him up on my chest. And I looked up at my husband. I was like, we have a baby. Like, I was shocked. I was just amazed. And I've been preparing this whole time. And then when they put that little baby up on you, it's unbelievable, right? Instant love, instant connection. You just feel so awesome and then terrified all at the same time, right? So we, were there at the hospital for a few days, and then we put him in the little car seat, and they let us go home, and we put him in the car. And I remember thinking, are they going to just allow us to leave with him, right? I don't know what to do with this, And we went home, and I put him on the couch, and he didn't even fit into his little onesie. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to screw this up. How on earth do I do this?
That's so. I love that statement. I don't want to screw this up. I don't know what to do, but I know I don't want to do the wrong thing.
Right.
And I'm not even sure what that is. And it's just, and you would sit there. But the great thing about that is that moment you figure it out. Your kids end up being okay. And even though we never know what we're doing, we figure stuff out enough that they grow into. I'm still amazed when my daughter's getting ready to graduate from college, and it's like, wow, all right. So you're okay. All those times I didn't put you in the right onesie, or I made you drink too much milk, or whatever it was. You're okay. You came out on the other side, and it's different for everybody, but it all works. It all figures itself out.
And there's always a first. So the first illness, the first broken bone, the first breakup, the first, you could continue, right? The first struggle with a class or a teacher, whatever it is, and you get through it, right? And you come out stronger on the other side, and then are better equipped the next time, if there is a next time.
Right, you think, okay, I got through this last time. Okay, I can do this again. Right. We can navigate through this. We can help our children, make sure that they get through whatever they're struggling with. So that's so true.
Yeah. Sure.
I think that's really true. With your firstborn, you're really uptight. You stress over every little small thing. And when you go to have on your second or more, you're much more relaxed as a parent. What you worry and stress about is a different whole perspective.
Or you're tired. I feel like my third child gets away with more things, just because I can't. I'm too tired to deal with it. You'll be fine. Eating that cookie at 9 o'clock at night, that's totally good. I mean, just because I'm I don't want to do this. And the oldest child always remembers what rules you had for them that you no longer have for the youngest. The youngest one gets away with everything, and the oldest will continually remind you, well, I didn't get to do that. But it was a different time. It was a different things were happening. And when you mention struggle, that is the thing I struggle with the most as a parent, is watching my kids struggle. And when they're hurting, a friend of mine used to say, you're only as happy as your saddest child. And when they're 3, that's really easy to fix, with a little superhero Band-Aid and a little, glass of juice, and you're good. And then when they're 21 and that heartbreak happens, or they're disappointed in a job they didn't get, and you're watching them struggle and hurt. And it's like, oh, I feel it. I think as a mom, we carry that. We carry that pain they're feeling. We carry it with each of them. And it's hard. That's a lot to carry.
It is. And you think about, in that role, you're the mom counselor, right? The mom life coach, the mom, fixer-upper. And at some point, it transitions into helping your kids have their own tools to do it for themselves, right? Not just necessarily always coming to their rescue, but allowing them to navigate some of those things on their own. And so as a mom, you're a mom counselor, you're a cook, you're cleaning, you're washing clothes, you're setting schedules, you are navigating homework, you are doing bedtime, you're waking up at 3 in the morning because someone's crying. There's so many different roles that a mom has to successfully play, and I know I am always dropping at least 5 balls, right? It's kind of like, hey guys, it's time to go to bed, and they're like, Mom, we don't have school tomorrow. I'm like, you don't? oh, maybe I should have read the emails that they sent me from the school, right? Or maybe I should have read the text message, or maybe I should just look on the calendar and put it in my phone, right? I always feel like there's something that I'm missing completely.
Right.
And then there are other roles that I play as a mom that I feel I thrive in. And I try to make the caring for your kids and helping them become their own people, I just try to thrive in that. And when I fail at other things, I'm like, all right, well, I'm good at that, so I'm okay. It balances itself out.
I have a friend who's so creative, and she'll always show me pictures of activities she'll do, and she has children similar ages. And it was summertime. They were in the garage and they had this painting party. And I mean, the children are covered in paint head to toe. And my daughter said, that looks like a disaster. And I said, thank you. I raised you, and that's why that is not my cup of tea. But I am very organized. Let's sit and do a puzzle or something else. We all thrive at different things, and all of our children will end up wonderful in their own right, and we're just doing the best we can, right?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think about that, Sarita? What do you think you thrive in?
I think the biggest lesson for me that I've learned being a mom is everything doesn't go as planned, as well as you might be organized, just letting go and just going with the flow. And adapting as you go has been the biggest life lesson.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. I think we could talk about this for a lot longer. Motherhood is such a dynamic, ever-changing role, one that we love and one that we try to just do the best we can and follow our mom gut. Moms, you definitely deserve a pat on the back and sometimes a nap. Thank you for everything you do. We'll be right back with more of the Naperville Moms Network. Stay tuned.
Was just on Facebook and I saw a post from NCTV and it said nominate your neighbor, and I always tell Jolene how wonderful she is, and I always say what a blessing and a godsend she is.
I nominated Bernie Newman because when I think of somebody who exemplifies involvement and volunteerism, Bernie was the first person that came to mind, of course.
I have nominated Lily Chen. The reason why is that I felt that she's exceptional in many ways.
There's people out there doing good like Maura who don't expect any recognition and is not doing it for that. But there's people like me out there who are saying, hey, she's doing great things. Like, how do we show her the recognition that she deserves? So I so appreciate NCTV having that platform for neighbors to do that for each other.
I think that the community needs to learn about good things going on here by great people.
Welcome back to the Naperville Moms Network. And now we're talking about mom breaks. As we just discussed, being a mom is way more than a full-time job. Finding ways to decompress, fill your cup, and take a break is a necessity. What do you think, girls? How do you find ways to take your breaks?
Well, you said fill my fill your cup, and I'm thinking about the coffee cup or the lunch that sits in the microwave for 4 hours. It's not easy. It's not easy, especially with little ones. They demand so much of your physical attention, right? I need to be there to wipe his butt. I need to be there, and nothing's sacred. I can't take a shower without someone calling for me, or even use the washroom. So it's tough. I think for me, it's that time after they go to bed. Yeah. And I think that's why so many moms stay up later than we should. And we're so tired. My husband will say, just go to bed. You had such a long day. Go to bed when they do. Yes, but if I do, that means I wake up and it's the roller coaster all over again. And that is my time to read a book or watch The Bachelor, let's be honest, and visit with my husband and make a phone call or do what I need to do. Working out also, I will carve out time to do that, even if it's 30 minutes at home. And I think it's a good example, too, for the kids. And I would say that, really, for me time. I do get out, and that's sort of a we time, right, with friends. But as far as being by myself, not often by myself.
It doesn't really even change, like having kids that are in college and high school. I feel like I have more opportunity to have time just by myself. But now you are traveling to go see your kids in college. Like the weekends do not seem to be as free as I kind of thought they were going to be. Like I kind of thought that was and because you spend so much time not having me time, there are like a Wednesday night where you're sitting by yourself and you think, well, now what do I do? Other than watch highbrow things like The Bachelor or the women of the Bravo Women of New York or whatever they are. But you think that you don't even know what to do with that time. Like, what am I supposed to do with it? Because I spent so many years feeling guilty for that time. And now that I actually could probably have it easier than like you, Erica, with small children, now what do I do? And I wish I would have done it more when they were younger, so that it wouldn't, I would have like something going on now and not trying to figure it out now. Right. If that makes any sense. Yeah.
For me, it was a little different because I worked and had kids much later in life. So I kind of felt like I had a lot of time to myself and doing the things I wanted to do, travel with my husband. So when I had kids, it just became full-time in the sense that if I wasn't working, I wanted to spend every minute with them. So I probably was more guilty of never really carving out me time. Or to your point, when they're younger, what that me time is very different than as your kids get older. Like to your point, you're just happy just being able to watch a TV show, just having time to yourself, you know? And as you get older, you have a lot of me time when you're transporting your kids to a sport event and you have to sit with them for the day there. So I think it takes a different role, but to your point, as the kids get older, maybe that me time needs to be more focusing on just yourself. At some point, the kids are gonna grow up and move out of the house, so you really need to make sure you don't lose your own identity. Do the things you might like or can see yourself, you know, beyond the phase of when your kids are at home.
I think that's a great point, Sarita. I know that I love being an example to my teenage sons as to what a woman may need to take care of herself, not just as a mom, right? That there's a separation between, yes, I am your mom, but I'm also a person and a woman and an entrepreneur and a volunteer. And there's so many roles I play outside of just being a mom. And sometimes I feel like we can get a little too uber focused on that mom role. And I'm also a divorced mom. And we got divorced when the kids were 3 and 4. And I mean, you don't go and get married hoping to get divorced, but one of the benefits, there's lots of drawbacks to it, obviously, but one of the benefits is it really carves out some time that I have to just myself. And I've had friends say, do I have to get divorced to get your schedule? I'm like, yeah, kind of think so. But I think it's allowed me to compartmentalize things. So when I have my kids, I try to be very present and focused on them. And I know that the next night I might not have them, or the next morning I'm not going to be making lunches and making breakfasts for them. So when people in the community come up to me and say, oh my goodness, how do you do everything you do? I say, you know, I am divorced. I only have my kids with me 50% of the time. And someone last night actually said to me, yeah, but that means that the other 50% of the time, it's you 100% of the time. I'm like, oh, that's a good point. But I think it's also important to be intentional about carving that time, whatever that means to you. If it's taking a nap, like we said, or going to get a massage, or going to work out, or meeting a friend for lunch. And if I have a really busy schedule for a week or a couple of weeks, I just open up my calendar, I look at a day that I either don't have to work or don't have anything planned, and I put a big no with 5 exclamation points. Not 4, not 3, 5. Like I'm emphatically saying no, right? And so when someone calls me up and says, hey, can you do this? I look, I go, I am so sorry, I'm actually booked that day. And I am, with me. And maybe a cup of coffee.
Lovely.
That's the intentionality. You know, we talk a lot as parents and even as entrepreneurs, we talk a lot about being intentional about your kids or being intentional about your business or we have to be intentional with ourselves and not feel bad about that. And whatever we need to fill our cup or to feel more energized, whether it is a nap or it's reading a book or it's running or whatever that is, that's fine. Like it doesn't have to be, there should be no guilt between the person that's exercising all the time as their me time and the person that just needs a 25-minute nap every day. That's okay. Both of those, there isn't a definition of what a good me time is. And I think that we have to remember that as moms, that we're all different when it comes to being intentional about ourselves.
Sure. We're all different people. And for me, I really enjoy my time with girlfriends, you know, and my husband and I are very different in that if we have a free Saturday, he is so excited and let's just stay home. And I'm thinking, who can we invite over? And
he's like, no.
So he's very good at keeping my no. But I enjoy, you know, people. And maybe that's because I'm with children under 3 feet, you know, during the day. So I enjoy adult conversation, and it's so nice to have that. So, but you're right, everybody is different. You know, for one, it's not the same as the next.
Sarita, what do you love to do?
You know, I love to read a book or watch a TV show. I think I fill my schedule too much, and it's a lot of juggling act. So one of the priorities or goals I have for this year is really assessing everything that takes my time and prioritizing what's really important. And doing that, I think you're more present in the moment with whatever you're doing instead of constantly thinking of everything else you have to do. So chasing slow is going to be my goal
good.
for
I like that.
This year.
I know the art of saying no has become easier as I've gotten older and a little bit wiser. You know, I feel like when I was younger, people say, "Oh, could you do this? Oh, could you come and help with this? Oh, could you be here? Can we do lunch?" And sometimes I really have to look at my calendar and say, "Is that something I truly want to do?" Because at this phase of my life, and life is short, you know, there's no guarantees. I want to be right here, right now. This is really exciting to me. But there's some things that I get asked to do that it just doesn't fit within my mission for my life and where I feel like my passions and my strengths lay. And so I really think that learning to say no in a polite way and saying, you know, I am so sorry, I'm a little overbooked right now. Could you reach back out to me in a few months? Or, you know, I actually focus more on mom-related items for our charitable giving. And, you know, there's so many wonderful opportunities for other organizations to do what they love. But I try to funnel all of our giving into mom-focused things due to Naples Moms Network. So I try to come up with ways that are kind, but also saying no. And sometimes I try not to apologize so much. I feel like I'm always saying sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Right? Why am I sorry? You know, I don't need to be so sorry about everything.
And when you say no, that gives somebody else the opportunity to say yes. So by you saying no to something and taking time for yourself because it's not really in your alignment with your goals, then somebody else gets to say yes. Somebody else gets to step into something that this does work better for them. This is what they're trying to do. And I think that I always, when I get, because I am the worst at saying no. Like I'm sitting here acting like I'm some big expert. But I really always try to think me saying no means somebody else gets the opportunity to do this amazing thing that's perfect for them.
Flip the thought process a little bit.
I am psychoanalyzing myself in my head. Awesome.
So Erica, are you good at saying no?
No. No, I love what you said about carving out time for yourself and life being short. You need to decide, where do I want to allocate my time? For me, it's always going to be family first. Our family's pretty local. I get to spend time with my parents, my grandma, and my children and my husband. And then will come the family or the friends. And then you say yes to other opportunities, but you have to pick and choose, right?
Yeah.
What you want to spend your time doing. And as you said, I'm thrilled to be here. It was so exciting to get the opportunity to, well, let's be honest, leave the house and converse with other adults. But this is an opportunity that you say yes to. Not all of them. That's okay.
Yep.
And you mentioned, Eric, I think at the very beginning about the role, what our kids see us do. And I think we are in a society where kids are as scheduled as we are.
Sure.
And it's nice to be able to have them see that we do find ourselves important enough to say no to things and to be intentional about what we say yes to.
Sure.
I think that's a life lesson for them down the road.
Well, and we're really teaching them how to take care of themselves through taking care of ourselves.
Right.
And sometimes it's easier to take care of ourselves when we know there's something else other than us.
Oh, yeah.
So
You're always going to be the lowest priority in everything that's happening. But if you don't take the me time to rejuvenate yourself, you are no good to anyone else either. You're burnt out, you're tired. So I think it's really important that we feel ourselves to be able to, help our family, our kids, and be really more present.
all right, we're taking it back now. We're taking back our me time. So we hope that you carve out time for your breaks and are finding the right balance for you and your family. Thank you, Erica, Sarita, and Patty, for joining me today, and to all of you for tuning in. We look forward to connecting with you again next month on the Naperville Moms Network. And remember, you are always invited. Thank you.